Hey there, Jed Coburnus here from jedcoburnus.com with Talk Therapy. Yay, 30 minutes of talking out loud and no filter, no thinking about what is going on, no thinking about what I'm going to say. I mean, this is just 30 minutes of craziness, crazy, awesome, inspiring myself, right? And right there it was, the ego. When I go or something like that, it's my ego always wanting to trip me up, which is fine. It's good stuff. It's being able to recognize those things and just keep talking through it. How many days have I been doing this? This is, actual 30 minutes out loud. I think this is probably day 5 or 6, or maybe day 5. But this is really cool because in the morning, I wake up, get going with the routine that I have is just wake up, give myself about 20 minutes of meditation. It's basically right after I wake up, and what that does is it really helps me get the day going, gears myself up for the day. Now, you'd think it'd be kind of nuts to wake up and then quote unquote fall back asleep, but it's not actually. It helps so much to regenerate the mind and rewire the mind and basically stop all the negative talk. And I would say that's the biggest thing that has helped. So I get that done and then eat some breakfast, make my lunch for the day, and then hit this talk therapy. And this is a vital piece because, yesterday I was talking about it'd be Monday, I was talking about the weekend, and I don't do it on the weekend, and I think that is a huge deal. Like, if I don't do this, I don't feel right? I don't necessarily have to post it that day, but if I don't do it, I don't feel right. So it's kind of nuts to say that talk therapy is just part of my DNA. I need to just talk out loud for 30 minutes without any reservation, without any worry about who's around, what's going on. I mean, it doesn't matter every day, right? I mean, it's just who's going to sit there and judge me if I'm at my parents' house or if I'm at, doesn't matter. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to, is being very understanding and very realistic on what this feels like. And so, I mean, it's a little nuts to think that I didn't even realize how much this is helping. And there are some days where I talk and ramble and hopefully I make sense, and there are some other days that doesn't make any sense at all. So today might be one of those days where I just ramble on for 30 minutes and not even worry about what I sound like. Because a lot of days I don't worry about what I sound like, and I don't go back and listen to it. Why? I don't know why. And I love that I don't know why. I just know that this helps so much with my own mental health. Not mental illness, but mental health. And that's the big picture, is today is a new day, and I think this morning it hit me where I'm like, I don't have to do anything. I get to do it all, right? I don't have to do anything, but I get to do it all. So having that kind of an attitude really helps. Having that kind of an approach really helps, because I have to do this and I have to do that. If you're in a have to mood, you're gonna not want to, and that is not fun. Like, even your most heart-filled center of anything, you can just be in the have to mode, and you're not gonna want to do it. I can guarantee you that. And what's really crazy is now, like, I used to really think that from 0 to 10 minutes is me versus my ego, from 10 to 20 minutes is me and my ego, and from 20 to 30, the third 10 minutes is me, just me. But I think I've gotten pretty good at this in a very rapid pace and very fast. You know, it's only taken me about 5 times to get to my center, right? Just me, my truth. And right now, I'd say at 5 minutes, I'm already at my truth, and I'm already, you know, really taking out my ego. And it's not, you know, I'm not sitting here going, because that's the ego trying to trip me up. And today, I think I'm there right away at 5 minutes. That's amazing to me to think that it only took 5 minutes to get there. And when I feel my heart racing and I feel short of breath, like that's where I know. That's when I know. That's like my physical, that's like my body telling me, way to go. You know, like you made it there. And I'm so in tune with my body that I know that's what it's telling me. So it's a little crazy to me. It's a little, right? It's already 5 minutes and I'm there. And that's because you just know that when you're doing something for the right reasons, you can just keep doing it. Like, you can just keep going no matter what. And that's amazing. That is amazing in itself. The ability to do that and know that that's happening is a major, major, major deal. So, I mean, that's my offer for you today. For anybody who's listening, is to just keep going, keep trying. And really, if it comes down to you listening to yourself talk every day, then go for it, right? Record it. Put it out there. You don't have to share it. I'm just saying, like, put it out there in the universe. Put it out there in the world. Like, that's what it comes down to, is just really listening to yourself and listening to yourself talk, because anything is possible as long as, right? I mean, I know it sounds so cliche, and I know it sounds so dumb, but I mean, it's not. You have to tell yourself whatever you can to keep yourself going, and willpower is gonna run out, like it just is. Willpower only runs as far as your belief in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody in this world is gonna get you there. It starts with so much internal work that you just know you're gonna be great no matter what. You don't need anybody to tell you you're great. You're just great. And that's where I've gotten. That's where I am. And just saying that out loud feels really, really, really powerful. And that makes my heart beat even more. And there was my ego, right? Hear it? There was my ego. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm already at my center, which is really crazy to me to think about, that my center is there. It's already in there. And you know, today is a new day. I get to go and do all of this stuff. I think I'm getting a bit of a cold, but I'm going to tell myself I'm not getting a cold. I am not getting a cold, and we'll see what happens with that. But, you know, working late nights and early mornings, and that's kind of how it works. You know, you do what you got to do. You do what you get to do during the day, and then you do what you want to do at night. And you know, sometimes you get to meet in the middle, right? Sometimes you get to do some things that you didn't even think you could. You know, I mean, I'm setting up a program at my work for, you know, a successful health and wellness program, and it's fun and it's exciting. It's going well. It just, there are some days where it happens that there's other things out there, and I know there are, and that's the truth of it. That my calling is Roseau, right? My calling is Roseau, Minnesota. It's helping that area. It's just speeding up the process is not easy. It's not, you know, just getting to that point. And how do you get to any point? Point A to point B is you fully accept the fact that you may not even get to that point. And if you are in the get mode, like you gotta get there, it's gonna take that much longer to get there. Which seems backwards, right? Like, if you really want it, you gotta work as hard as you can to get there, which is part of the process. But on the other side, if you've hung around me long enough, you gotta know that you have to let it go at the same time. You have to let go the fact that you're not going to be able to get there. And then as soon as you let all of that go and then be okay with not having it, that is when it comes. That is when it truly comes even faster. So I will tell myself today that that the house is going to sell. The house will sell only on the terms of when I am 110% okay with it not selling. And I'm declaring today that I'm 110% okay with the house not selling. I'm 100% okay with it not ever selling. I love our house. It's a great house. Both our kids were born, not in the house, but like we brought our kids home to that house. Like, that's a big deal, you know? That is a huge deal. We brought, we bought that's our first house as a married couple. Not that we had any houses before we were married, but that's a big deal. And then to sell that house, right? Like, I think I'm trying to tell myself that it's not going to be emotional for me. It's not going to be emotional for any part of me to actually sell this house and walk away from the house. But, it's okay. We'll get there and we'll move on. But I think that what happens is we sometimes think that we're not going to actually sell the house. And that's okay, right? That is completely okay to actually not sell the house. And I think what happens is we want it to happen so bad, and that goes with anything. We want it to happen so bad that it's okay. And that's what I'm telling myself today, that it's okay to not have the house sell today. 100% okay with it to not sell the house today. And I will keep saying that because it's like I'm accepting the truth that maybe it's not right. Maybe it's not in the cards. Maybe everything is not what it seems to be. And just a little guidance and a little love can help that. It can go a long way when we're talking about things that are bigger than us. Things that are, like God. God is telling me to move to Roseau. And then when the house doesn't sell, when people come to the house and the house doesn't sell, it's like, okay, God, like, is the house actually going to sell? Because that is part of the process to move to Roseau, that you're telling me that this is the way. If this is the way, then the house has to sell. And obviously my time here is not completely done yet because I need to set up a program at Touchstone before I can go to Roseau. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the house just doesn't sell yet, and because I just have this firm calling that it needs to sell at 249. Not needs to, but it's already done and it's already sold at 249 because God wanted it that way. But for the most part, that's where I'm at, going, all right, it's okay for it not to sell until when? And that's something I don't know. And I love that I don't know that that's how it works. So that's where I'm at today. Just loving the fact that it's going to do that it might actually sell, but not really, right? So it's going to happen. It's going to happen on its own terms. On its own terms, it's going to happen. So that's exactly what I'm telling myself over and over and over again. And that's how I operate. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts to think that that's how I operate every day? You've heard the term, tell yourself what you need to get by, right? Tell yourself what's the saying when I was growing up? Tell yourself whatever you got to tell yourself to make you feel happy, right? Whatever you got to tell yourself to get yourself through the day, whatever it is. And I take that to a pretty extreme, not to say the fact that I'm not happy and I'm not getting through the day and all that, but your self-talk definitely goes way deeper than you think. Because let me tell you this, for the longest time I thought that I didn't I didn't have it in me to be who I am today. And I was just recording videos, right? I was just recording workout videos, and I'm like, well, who would ever watch these? Who would ever follow this? But I really put something together that is not only is it different, but it's special, right? It is special. I've put something together that is so special that, people around the world think it's this special, this good. And that, that can be scary. You're like, oh my gosh, what? I mean, there's somebody from New Zealand who thinks it's pretty cool, and there's somebody who is in Australia and they're pretty excited about it. So, I mean, that's kind of nuts. When life gets you down, I know I completely just went off track right there and stopped and hit start again. And when life gets you down, you just got to keep going and going and going and going. It literally is as simple as that. You don't get to just be in this state of lack, right? You don't really, you can, but it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to help at all. It's only going to ruin everything that you've already built so much up, right? If you worked hard. Actually, this comes to mind. An awesome story that I heard from my friend Lisa Ruth. Check her out, lisaruth.com. If you're looking for freaking anything as far as social media understanding and man, just being very aware of the platforms, she's your person. She's got it. But anyway, so she told me the story about a bamboo tree. Okay, so a bamboo tree. This is an amazing story, and I don't think I've ever told it before. So a bamboo tree. How do you grow a bamboo tree in any area? Okay, so you plant the bamboo tree. Okay, you plant it up, and you plant just the seed or the whatever it is. I don't even know, so don't quote me on a lot of this. So if I'm wrong on the bamboo tree, it doesn't matter. You'll get it at the end. You'll hear it. So the bamboo tree itself, so you plant the seed, and then it's just a little pile of dirt, right? It's just a little dirt, and you keep watering this dirt. Now, you have to water the dirt every day, no matter what. Every day. 365. Every single day you have to water. If you miss once, it's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to grow. So every day for 5 years, you have to water this bamboo tree. You have to water this spot of dirt, basically. So every day you walk out, so your neighbors are looking and everybody's watching you water this dirt for 5 years. Water this little pile of dirt for 5 years. Can you imagine that, right? So you're watering it every day. People are wondering what the crap you're doing. They're looking at you like, why does he water that same little dirt spot every day? So 5 years goes by and you water it and you continue to water it. Nothing happens. But as soon as that day after the initial 5 years happens, exponential growth comes up. So it just pops through this pile of dirt that you've been watering for 5 years, and the growth happens like 10 times the amount of a regular tree. And then everybody goes, whoa, how did you do that? Because they've pretty much forgotten about what you're doing. After a while, they just forget about you watering that pile of dirt, and it just becomes regular day of life for them to say, hey, good morning, how you doing? And you're like, what's up, how are you? So then when you're watering this pile of dirt, they don't even notice the pile of dirt anymore until that tree comes out, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want that. How did you do that? And you're just like, you should have been watering your pile of dirt. Like you planted the same seed on the same day that I did, but you quit a long time ago. And then they kind of just go, oh, really? That's what you were doing? And then they try it again, and they try it again, and they try it again, but really they're never going to get it because they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to water their tree for how many days, right? It's not going to happen. So they just keep going, and then they watch, and then this tree just grows exponentially. I mean, it just grows massive, and then everybody wants that tree. And they'll look at you and go, I want that. And you're like, yep, plant it, work it for 5 years, right? You have to do it every day for 5 years. So that's the bamboo tree, right? Everybody wants they want the end result, but they don't want to do the work to get there. They don't want to do the work every day to get there. So it just takes practice. It just takes doing the work. It just takes doing the do. 5 years, oh my gosh, right? That's so long. Not really. It's not going to take that long for you to get anything in life. 5 years is just a flash in the pan. How long is 5 years? 5 years is 5 years. You got the same time that I have to get everything done. It's just how much time are you willing to put into it to do it, right? Doesn't matter. You get to choose. And that's the hard part of it all, is realizing that it's on you. And you get to do it. You have the opportunity. You have it. You're not looking for anything else. You're just doing it, right? Like, that is just such a massive amount of awareness that you get to do every day. There's no question of what you're trying to do is right or wrong. You can feel it within your heart, and you just keep going with it. No amount of money can ever fulfill that. Never. Money helps, but everything else comes first. Money is one of those things that people don't like to talk about. Whether you have it or not, people are like, don't talk about money. Now, I agree to the fact that don't talk about money in a sense of being greedy, but money's important. You have it, and you use it, and you use it to help people. I use money to help people. I use money to help myself, and I surround myself with people who use their money to help other people and to help themselves. That's a big deal. Not the other way around, to help themselves and then help people. Like, it is surrounding yourself with people that love money, and they will help people with it. And that's not giving it away, because you don't just give money away. Like, you don't just get money. You earn money. You earn somebody's love and understanding of yourself and trust. And then you acquire each other's presence. And the exchange of money is an energy exchange, which happens a lot. It's good stuff. But how do you get to that point? How do you completely be aware of what that looks like and feels like? Well, that's completely up to you. Like, there's processes for that, there's practices for that, and it's just like growing a bamboo tree. You have to water that little spot every day. You really get to practice that every day, and if you're not going to do that, if you're not doing that work, then your tree is not going to grow. It's daily work. It's 7 days a week, 365 days within your year, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I call my book, or maybe that's what I call my process. Because even though there's 365 workouts, it's really going to take about 5 years for you to even think about being the person that you want to be, and know that you are. Maybe it's I just call it How to Grow a Bamboo Tree, and it has really nothing to do about a bamboo tree, but it's everything to do with a bamboo tree, right? Maybe that's what it is. That's, who says it can't be? I can call my book or my process however I want to call it, but that's what it is. I think that's the biggest question I have right now is what do I call this? And I'm going to keep asking myself, and keep asking God, and keep asking the universe, keep asking God himself to say, you have this life for me, you have this purpose for me. I continue to work from that spot, from that area, from my truth. What is the name of my approach? What is the name of my way that I do things? Bamboo comes to mind. The bamboo approach or something, right? It is. It comes down to personal growth every day. And I think the biggest realization that I'm having this week is the fact that I stop on Saturdays and Sundays with the personal growth because it's not part of the routine. It's not part of my patterns on the weekends. And really, it needs to be. It absolutely needs to be that. It needs to be, and it will be. Like, it just takes practice for the interruptions to happen. So, however that looks like, it's just going to happen. It's just good stuff. It's just completely good stuff. Like, you can't get away from it, even if I wanted to. It just comes down to every day doing something. And, I mean, I work out 6 days a week, and I take the 7th day off. And a lot of times, I don't do the mental part of it on the weekends, and I think that's what I've been missing most, is the mental aspect every day of what that looks like. And that's okay, right? Like, you have to realize what you're doing and what you're not doing to get there. Because as soon as you're not doing it, if actually the other way around, as soon as you think you're not doing it, then you really get in. Then you know that you're not doing it. Then you can change whatever it is that you want to be, whatever it is that you want changed. It can just happen, which is awesome. Like, just knowing that, okay, well, I'm just going to get it done today. Well, what is it, right? Whatever it is, get it done. And set your intentions every day. The art of receiving, right? The gift of receiving. It has to be in a perfect balance. If you're asking for something, if you're giving something, you have to be receiving in a perfect balance. And a perfect balance isn't exactly attainable being perfect, but that's where it comes down to, is understanding that, being very aware of what that means is you receive, you give and receive needs to be in balance. So giving it a go, right? Every day, being very aware of what you're giving and what you're receiving. That all just takes practice. It all just takes practice of the awareness and being aware of your giving and receiving. If you're giving, like, I know it feels so good to give, and I know that's where I'm at today, is I feel like it feels so good to give, but you also need to receive. You need to be receiving something. And I'm not saying like something is monetary. Actually, it could be monetary, but it could be receiving anything. Could be love, could be, it could just be everything. Could be anything, could be everything. Being aware of your giving and receiving balance is a big deal. It's actually a huge deal. So give yourself the permission to give, and give yourself the permission to receive. The art of receiving itself is amazing. The art of receiving itself is just truly amazing. Give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? And I always ask that, because we always go to the worst, right? We always go to the worst. What's the worst that could happen? You receive more? Oh my gosh, watch out, right? Like, you can actually receive more. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be so cool if you can receive more. I'd be down with that. Like, that's awesome to me. So that's talk therapy for today. Really, there was so much going on. There's so much happening. I don't even know what to call this one, right? Just call it life. Just call it what's going on. I don't know, but believe in yourself, right? That's what this one is. Doesn't matter what's going on. Just keep going. Do not stop. When you feel like stopping, keep watering that bamboo tree. Keep watering. That's what I can call it. Keep watering the bamboo tree. Actually, I'll just call it the bamboo tree. Yeah. So, as always, if you're looking for, there's my ego. Because here's my ask. If you're looking for a mentor, I am that person for you. JedKobernus.com/mentorship. Or just search Jed Kobernus. JedKobernuz. And that's my website. That's me. And on the right-hand side, or if you're on your phone, just scroll down. You'll see free coaching newsletter. Put your name and email in, and I'll help you out. As always, if you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. I believe in you. I really do. Now it's your turn to start believing in yourself. If you're looking for also a community to help you learn how to receive, Larry Hockman's my guy, and T3 Method, the Total Transformation Training, is the program. It is awesome. So go to t3.com and check it out. Otherwise, stay blessed, stay safe, have a great day. Bye for now.